Disclaimer: this video is created for educational and informational purposes only. It should not be taken as financial, investment, or legal advice. Always conduct your own research or consult a qualified financial professional before making decisions related to money, investments, or financial planning. Money! It drives the world, shapes our decisions, and defines our dreams. But how much do we really understand it? Welcome to Money Mindset, where we make financial education simple, visual, and actually fun. Let's dive in. Imagine holding a crisp $100 bill. It feels powerful, right? You could buy dinner, fill up your car, maybe pay a bill or two. But stop and think for a second. That piece of paper has no real value. It's not gold or silver, it's just cotton and ink. So why do billions of people treat it as valuable every single day? This simple question, why we still trust paper money, reveals one of the most fascinating truths about our world. Money isn't about metal, paper, or even numbers. It's about belief, psychology, and trust. Thousands of years ago, before banks or governments existed, people traded goods directly. They exchanged grain for meat, cloth for tools. But bartering was messy. What if you wanted shoes but the shoemaker didn't need your grain? To solve that, people started using objects with intrinsic value: salt, shells, precious metals. Gold became the favorite. It was shiny, durable, rare, and everyone wanted it. Eventually, merchants had a problem. Carrying gold around was heavy, risky, and inconvenient. So they began storing it in vaults and using paper receipts as proof of ownership. Those receipts could be exchanged instead of the gold itself. They were easier to carry, and everyone trusted they could be redeemed for the real thing. Over time, these paper notes started circulating as money, and then something revolutionary happened. Governments realized they could issue these notes directly, even without keeping all the gold in reserve. That's how fiat money was born. The word fiat comes from Latin and means "let it be done." In other words, this note has value because the government says it does. At first, people resisted. Imagine being told your paper money was no longer backed by gold. But the system worked because people kept believing in it. And as long as people believe, the illusion becomes real. That's the secret. The value of money depends entirely on trust. If tomorrow everyone decided that a $100 bill was worthless, it would instantly lose its power. Economists often call money a social contract, a collective agreement to believe in something abstract. It works not because it's printed, but because we agree that it works. In the early 1970s, the United States officially cut its tie to gold. President Richard Nixon ended the gold standard, meaning dollars were no longer backed by any physical metal. Many predicted chaos, but the economy didn't collapse. It kept running. Why? Because people didn't stop believing. Trust had shifted from gold to governments, from tangible metal to institutional stability. The dollar became strong not because of what it was made of, but because of what it represented: faith in the US economy and its institutions. But trust is fragile. When that confidence breaks, money crumbles. Think about hyperinflation in Zimbabwe or Venezuela. People carried stacks of cash just to buy bread. The money hadn't changed physically, but its meaning had evaporated. Paper was the same, but belief was gone. And without belief, it's just paper. That's the paradox of fiat currency. It's powerful because it's flexible, but fragile because it's built on faith. It's like a magic trick that only works if everyone keeps believing. When we say "in God we trust" or Bank of England promises to pay, what we really mean is we trust each other to keep the illusion alive. Now look at how we use money today. Most of it isn't even paper anymore. It's digital, just numbers on a screen. You tap your phone, your card, or send money online and it moves instantly. But those digits aren't backed by gold either. They're backed by the same thing paper money was: collective belief in the system. And then came cryptocurrency, digital money without banks or governments. It promises decentralization and freedom from manipulation. But even crypto depends on trust. You trust the blockchain, the code, the network of miners and validators, and a community that believes in it. Every currency, old or new, runs on the same fuel: belief. So, whether we're talking about gold, paper, or Bitcoin, money is essentially a shared story. A story about value, trade, and confidence. And like any story, it only exists as long as people believe in it. That's what makes it powerful and dangerous. Consider what happens during a financial crisis. When people lose confidence in banks, they rush to withdraw money. When investors lose faith in governments, currencies collapse. The problem isn't the money itself, it's the loss of belief. The real economy depends on psychological stability. Confidence is currency. Now imagine waking up tomorrow and your banking app just stops working. You can't transfer money, withdraw cash, or make payments. You panic, not because the money vanished physically, but because your trust in the system broke down. That invisible network of confidence is what keeps the modern world running. Human beings are wired to believe in shared myths. We trust religions, nations, brands, and currencies, all stories built on collective faith. Money is humanity's greatest story. It connects billions of strangers through a single promise. I'll give you this now. Even inflation, the silent erosion of money's value, depends on belief. When governments print too much money, people notice prices rise. But the real danger begins when people expect prices to rise. That expectation destroys trust faster than any policy can fix it. Economists call this a self-fulfilling prophecy. Inflation fueled by fear, not just supply and demand. That's why central banks and politicians work so hard to maintain confidence. Every press conference, every interest rate decision, every announcement, it's all about keeping people calm and maintaining the illusion of control. The irony is that the entire global financial system, worth trillions, rests on invisible human emotions, trust, fear, and hope. Think about it. The paper in your wallet costs only a few cents to print. The rest of its value is pure belief. A $100 bill costs around 17 cents to make. That means $99.83 are made of nothing but faith in the system. And yet, that belief powers trade, industry, and the entire world economy. That's how strong shared stories can be. In many ways, money is humanity's most successful technology, not because of what it is, but because of what it allows. It enables cooperation between strangers. It turns effort into opportunity. It transforms trust into productivity. No other human invention connects people so efficiently and invisibly. Now, as we move into an age of digital payments and cryptocurrencies, one thing remains the same: the foundation of money is still trust. Whether it's printed by a government or mined by a computer, money works because we believe it does. Lose that belief and the system collapses, no matter how advanced or secure it looks on paper. So, why do we still trust paper money? Because for now, it works. Because it's convenient. Because it connects the world. And most of all, because we have no better alternative that people are ready to trust as much. The dollar, the euro, the yen, they're stable not because of the paper, but because of the systems, economies, and people standing behind them. But we should never forget, the real power of money lies not in governments or gold reserves, but in the collective imagination of humanity. As long as people believe, the system survives. And when that belief fades, everything built on it begins to shake. So the next time you buy a coffee, pay your rent, or send money to a friend, pause for a moment. You're not just exchanging currency, you're participating in one of the oldest and most powerful human rituals. You're saying, I trust this system, and so does the person on the other side. That's the true answer to why we still trust paper money. Because deep down, we have all agreed to believe in a story, and that story still works. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe. Here at Money Mindset, we make financial education clear, engaging, and fun. Tell me in the comments, what kind of money do you trust the most? Paper, digital, or crypto? Remember, this content is for educational purposes only and reflects personal opinions, not professional financial advice. Viewers should conduct independent research or consult a licensed financial advisor before making financial decisions. The creator and this channel are not responsible for any losses or actions taken based on this content.